she's staring at.
Mr. Run and Jump, released in 2023 for the Atari 2600 video computer system courtesy of Atari. Yes, in the year 2023, some company called Atari was still making games for your Atari 2600. It may not be the same Atari from 50 years ago, but it's an Atari all the same. There's also a Mr. Run and Jump for the modern platforms that's all fancy and stuff, but I don't care for that one. This is the one I was intrigued by. A new Atari 2600 game from Atari made to coincide with the release of a new Atari VCS console. No, not that one. The other one. Yeah, that's the one we're talking about. So you control a little large-nosed character named Mr. Run and Jump. And the story goes is that your dog runs away and you have to go after him, or her, or whatever, navigating 6 perilous levels spanning a number of screens of running and jumping action, such as it is. The premise as such is fairly straightforward. You run, you jump, try not to touch anything that moves or flickers or else you die and you have to restart the level over. There's no lives count per se. You can die as often as you like, but dying deducts 100 points from your score counter, which also ticks off 1 point per second. So really the main idea is to clear all 6 levels with the most points/time left possible, incorporating a speedrunning aspect that is suited for those sorts of platformers. And that's it really. Mr. Run and Jump delivers exactly what it says on the tin. There are no game variations, the difficulty switches don't affect anything, it's fairly straightforward platforming fun, and for what it's worth, Mr. Run and Jump is actually quite a bit of fun. Controls are fairly basic, considered the input device after all, but it's also pretty solid. Jumping feels pretty good. Platforming is fairly smooth, even with a few segments requiring some tight jumping skills that Control doesn't always pick up. Game runs at a fairly consistent speed, and the challenge never seems too overwhelmingly dickish until the last level where everything is pitch black and the only things you can make out are the obstacles you're supposed to avoid. I don't know if I love this dog enough to go through this anguish, so we'll see. Mr. Run and Jump sports some simple graphics, which is to be expected on this platform. Scenery is solid colors. Character sprites are also solid colored things that you could sort of make out as bluebird things, spikes, and other basic shapes and stuff. It gets the point across just fine. There's some flickering, of course, when there's more than one item on screen, but that's to be expected. Sound is also fairly minimal. Besides the opening jingle, you'll only have a couple stock sound effects to fill the audible void, and that's about it, really. Overall, Mr. Run and Jump delivers a rather simplistic but well-crafted, challenging, and quite enjoyable little platformer onto the Atari 2600. This one is more suited for the speedrunner type of player, but it's the sort of thing that would be right at home on the old VCS. You've got a 2600 laying around, you want a new thing to play on it, Mr. Run and Jump might be worth checking out.